Hello there and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere Program. Yes. Back on the good old Dyson Sphere Program, ready for another go at it. I also figured some stuff out about this game. I did some a little bit of research and stuff out. We'll get into that later. But yeah, we're back on our game here as well. Just gonna go ahead and hit continue here. And whatnot, and we're going to continue along. I actually had to look at to go into my YouTube channel and actually watch my own video to remember what we were gonna do on this planet. I completely forgot. What was gonna go here, but yeah, it's just because, man, you'll tell me something one day, and then a few days later, sometimes a few hours later, I'll just completely and utterly forget it. It's not me choosing to forget it or anything. It's just, oh my gosh, that's bright. Um, it's just me going, I can't, I can't hold that information. I'm sorry, it happens. So anyway, but yeah, we are back on here. We're going to build our planet launcher here, or a Dyson Sphere launcher here, which is fairly simple. We do have the blueprint for it as well. I think this has been perfected. I'm not sure. Well, not perfected, but Dyson Sphere Planet Launcher. Okay. This one goes down at the equator. I wish I could see the yellow line for the equator as well. Alright, we'll have to go and mark out an area. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. So what I figured out about this game, I had to do some research for this, and I'm sure people are going to go, well, duh, you know. Of course that's the case. It's just like, yeah. I didn't know that though. But yeah, this game heavily relies on CPU. It's honestly, they could increase graphics, to be honest. They could like increase graphics quality, like the poly count on stuff, and I believe that's what it's called. Increase the poly count, because your CPU gets used, or your GPU gets used so little for this game, unless you're looking at a whole bunch of things at once. Your GPU just does not hardly get used. It's all CPU based in this game for the calculations. And because there's so many calculations going on at one time, when you get a massive, several 100-hour or maybe even 1,000-hour game, you're, sitting, with a huge, you got a huge monster gaming PC, and you're sitting at like 20 to 30 FPS at the very, max, and that's about all you can do. Yeah, it is not GPU related. It's definitely CPU related, or yeah, it's definitely CPU related. Because I had to look this up. It was very strange to me that that looking at my stats here. Now my GPU, yes, my GPU is burnt out. Essentially, it is still working, but obviously, it is still working, but it's still working GPU. It's not as good as it could be, I guess you could say. Not exactly sure how to explain that, but it definitely did get overheated, and it definitely was causing problems. It's just that's not the only problem causer here on my PC. My PC was actually the hard drive, so yeah, the hard drive has, and we just recently caught this as well. My hard drive where I play my games on, because Windows 10 is a little bit of an asshole, and it doesn't like you playing games on the same hard drive as the OS is on. Now, Windows 10 can get very moody, I should say. Oh, we're gonna remove this. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it can get very moody at times. We have 11,000 foundations. Yeah, we'll go for that. Yeah, so we were looking through my GPU and we just happened to catch it. One of my good friends of mine, I was we were looking at some. I have a few programs that monitor or that can monitor different things about different PC parts I have in my PC, like hard drive, like GPU, like CPU, like PSU, like optical drives, and just all that stuff. It'll tell you all the information you need to know. Um, it'll give you all of the voltages for all of that, what it's currently receiving for voltages and whatnot. It'll give you what it, if it's like the CPU, it'll give you some usage data, as well as it'll give you temperatures and all that stuff, right? And it says my hard drives are good. It says good condition, good temperatures, things like that. Everything's working like it should. And we didn't notice it at first, but yeah, a good friend of mine, he went to college for something about computers. I'm not exactly sure what the field was. He's told me many times, and I have this memory issue, so I'm glad I remember his name. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we were looking at it, and he says, "Wait a minute, something looks very strange here." And something like that. I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but he says, "Like, look at that. Look at your game drive there. Look at this. That's a SATA 3 drive, isn't it?" I run two hard drives. I run two regular hard drives, no SSDs, just normal hard drives. Both of them are SATA 3, 7200 RPM. The OS one is an old, it's like a 2013 Toshiba, or maybe it's a 2012 Toshiba, and I bought it in 2013, something like that. But yeah, it's a 2012, 2013 Toshiba that I'm running my OS on, 1 TB. And the other hard drive I'm using is the WD Black. It's a 2 TB hard drive that I'm running my games on. Like I said, 7200 SATA 6. SATA 3, 6 GB. There we go. SATA 3, 6 GB. Yeah, so I'm running this, right, and we're running this program, and it says my drive is SATA 2, 3 GB. And we looked it up just to make absolutely sure. And something we noticed was back when I wasn't having problems. I think like a buddy of mine or something asked me about it, and I had a screenshot of my hard drive, and it is a SATA 3 drive. It is 6 GB. Even the I don't know if that's too close or not. I'll have to see. But the drive, even the serial number or whatever, you look up the drive. WD Black, 2 TB, 7200 RPM hard drive. It's a SATA 3, 6 GB. But on this program, it says SATA 2, 3 GB. So, is the question. We tried all different types of things. We tried updating the drivers, which won't happen. We tried because the drivers are just there. They're just updated. they're at their latest version. We tried uninstalling it a few times and reinstalling it. Didn't help. Doesn't change it. We tried swapping cables. We tried swapping ports. SATA cables and SATA ports. I've got 6 SATA 3 ports, and that's it. Mine doesn't have SATA 2 ports at all, so it's not like I'm stuck in a SATA 2 port. And I figured that might have been the case, that's possible, but not only putting it in any of the ports doesn't change anything for that hard drive. Swapping the cords but not swapping the ports, the OS drive stays at. Sorry, I'm gesturing with my hands again, and you guys can't see that. But yeah, and you just can't see it. Or you just can't see it. Of course you can't see it. But yeah, you just can't. Or you just can't see it. I can't seem to get. Let's see, probably gonna need this. Swap to this. And I just can't seem to get it. To go from SATA 2 back to SATA 3 like it's supposed to. We even tried looking for drivers manually on the WD website, and apparently there is no drivers for that hard drive, like no online drivers. 8x8. Let's go 4x4. Actually, it's probably going to need to be a different color. We'll change it to black, probably. Will that be contrasted? Because I know the blueprint. Change the anchor point here. I still can't. I can barely see it, man. It looks like I'm on the center. And it doesn't particularly matter all too much, but it looks like it's centered. Oh man, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Uh-oh, what's in the way? Oh, there's a lake there. Okay, it's just that spot. I didn't realize that that lake was going to be in the way. Didn't even see it when I walked by. But yeah, apparently my game drive is running at SATA 2 speeds. It's a SATA 3 drive running at SATA 2 speeds for no reason. It's faulty, you know. And what's even more funny is it's my game drive, and that drive I didn't buy until like 2017 or 2018. I didn't buy the hard drive until then, and my Toshiba is outlasting, and it was bought back in 2013. And it's far out exceeding, the game drive, which is funny. I mean, I guess if it's an OS drive, maybe it doesn't work as hard. I'm not sure about that though. But anyway, so back to this game and the talks about this game. This game is very CPU intensive. It doesn't matter how good your graphics card is. It doesn't matter how good your PSU is. It doesn't matter how good your motherboard is. Or how much RAM you have. I mean, yes, that does matter to a point. It matters like you have enough to play the game. But once you get really far into your game, you've got thousands of buildings, tons of factories and Dyson spheres, and that's what's causing it. And we'll get rid of this lake too. This might be in the way, or might come close to being in the way. Yeah, like I said, it does not matter. Yeah, it's very CPU intensive. Now, I was reading something and somebody brought up a good point that it might be possible, since this game is in experimental, that they put a CPU limit on the game itself. Like the game is only allowed to use a certain amount of your CPU, or it limits your CPU usage. Like it limits the game not being able to use a certain amount, or it's only able to use up to a certain amount, and it's not allowed to go beyond that. So then the game just slows down. Now that's a good theory. I don't know if it's correct. I'm not saying it is correct, and that's what's going on. But because I'm not tech savvy, I don't know these things. I really don't. I just go off what I read and then try to make a judgment call for myself or whatnot. But that makes sense though. I mean, for good reasons, they would probably limit the CPU usage. If this game is so CPU heavy, and you get to a point where it overloads your CPU and shuts your computer down, they don't want that happening. They want to keep you from. They want to keep that from happening on your system, which admirable, I guess. We're gonna need those two. We're also probably gonna need some more belt. Oh no, no belts. How about inserters? Good on inserters. Need more of these, and we need more. Or we need our launchers. Where's our launchers? They're there. I think we're probably going to need more of these, because remote demand. Yeah, we need both. I also do want so it's 83 minus 14. That says 73, 72. So I need 72, roughly. I'll just say 100 of these. Yeah, we're not going to be playing this game too much longer, anyway. We're just going to finish our major project. Since this is happening, I'm not going to continue to play this game to a point, or at a point, I guess you could say. Oh, there's the autosave lag. So that's my hard drive there. Loading up games and auto-saving is what my hard drive has an issue with. Nothing I can really do about it now. Hard drives are expensive enough as it is, and I did get corrected on some hard drive prices, but the point of it was to say that I can't afford a hard drive right now. It's not possible or in the works currently. So, like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, those are finally starting to come in. Just gotta wait for this too. And we can start building. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. My major problem is our hard drive. I'm glad I was talking with my friend and he was able to catch it. Yeah, that little minute detail we missed for a while now. We've been missing for a while now, trying to figure this out. So yeah, it's hard drive. Now this game playing is not related to any of that. It is related to my CPU. So my CPU is a bottleneck. I mean, it's an i7, but still, the game only allows 50%. It's like 50 to 60% is what I'm using of my CPU entirety. And none of the cores are maxed out or anything. I've looked that up while playing this game as well, trying to figure this out just today. Yeah, none of the cores themselves are maxed out either. This game is only allowing me to use a very small, minute amount of a very small amount comparatively. Like, it could definitely use more, Waiting for those, I don't want to go too far. I'm waiting for this. Oh, it's here. Okay, good. There we go. So yeah, that's my current issue. It's hard drive. I know I should switch to, SSD. And yeah, I was saying on my Satisfactory series how expensive SSDs were, but the prices I was quoting was from like years ago, like literal years ago. So somebody was correcting me on it, right? And I'm just like, yeah, I haven't looked at hard drive prices in a very, very long time. So yeah, they're definitely much cheaper than they used to be. Like when I bought my hard drive, my 2 terabyte WD Black, I think it was 2 terabyte when I bought that. It was $283, I believe it was. $283. So I kind of priced I priced hard drives at around $100 a terabyte. Which is somewhat true, but or maybe not somewhat true, but it's somewhat close to that. But it's not as close as it used to be. Like it used to be spot on. Just about spot on. But yeah, I was wrong about that. Apparently now SSDs are much cheaper than they used to be. But that's not all. That's not only just the SSD price. So was hard drives in general. Every hard drive that I have bought, did I put? Every hard drive that I have bought thus far has been around $100 a terabyte. So, but apparently that's wrong now, which is just fine. I don't admit when I'm wrong, or I don't admit when I'm wrong, and I just did that. I do admit when I'm wrong. You know, if I'm wrong, if you correct me on anything, I might not address it in the video or in the next video or whatever, but I will definitely address it in the comments. Be like, yep, you are correct. It's just, and my excuse is that just time goes by so damn fast anymore for me. Like, it is definitely true that the older you get, the faster time flies because you've been alive for so long on this planet. Like, if when you're a kid, they explain the phenomenon as when you're a kid, and you're like 5 years old or something like that, time seems so slow because you've only been alive for 5 years. So a year is very, very slow. But as you get older, time seems to speed up because, when you're 10 years old, it seems to speed up a little bit. But when you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, time just starts going by like crazy. And, I've talked to older people about this as well, because I was very curious when I was young. I hung out with a lot of older people to get their life experiences and such. And they definitely were saying, "Oh yeah, like they're like, just it seems just like yesterday, everybody was everybody was driving around in the new the new 1990s vehicles, and the square body was starting to change." It's just like, yeah, I definitely see that now. Like before, I'm just like, what? That doesn't make no damn sense. You're crazy. You're just a crazy old dude. But now it's just like I'm starting to experience it. I'm just like, yeah, it feels like just yesterday. Maybe not just yesterday, but it feels like just this year I just bought a graphics card. And that graphics card is I've actually had it for a few years. The one that's overheating. Of course, that was also caused by my graphics card, my air conditioner breaking down during the summertime. It broke down. It stopped working, and then it got like 100 and some degrees in here. And I was trying to record in 105-degree room. I don't blame it for overheating. There's no amount of cooling that's gonna help that. When the ambient air temperature outside the case is over 100 degrees. Imagine how hot the inside of that PC was at that time. So it could overheated the drives as well, maybe the CPU. And yeah, I haven't checked the CPU. I need to check that. Every now and again, I like to refresh the goop, I guess you could say, the thermal paste, I think it's called. Yeah, that's it, thermal paste. I use a recommended to me thermal paste by a PC builder, so he recommended me some thermal paste. Alright, so what's next? Oh yeah, to build the Dyson Sphere. Okay, we got to build Dyson Sphere. So like I said, this is going to be a monster Dyson Sphere, but I'm going to take some tips that I have learned from somebody. They said build the most compact Dyson Sphere you can with the most amount of nodes, and you'll easily get that achievement. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We're already deep into it, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick because otherwise, if you guys want to watch me do this, riveting, isn't it? Very riveting gameplay. Yep, the most compact Dyson. I mean, it's probably not the most compact, but it's definitely going to be pretty close to it. They said the most amount of nodes as possible. So that's every 2 squares, it looks like. Oh, curious. The game is sending me ships. Look at this. Oh, that's funny. The game is like sending ships out as I build it. I mean, I'm fine with that. Look at the generation capacity as well. Just by doing this, it's already 36 megawatts. And it's barely done anything yet. It's actually pretty funny. Let's see how much I get up to here. Jeez, it's like spiking. It's cool. Definitely these nodes seem to put out more. And they did say forget the Dyson swarm. I'm still gonna do one though. Just because. But I'm gonna build this first. Oh, I'm so glad that matched up. That would have been a pain. Alright, on to the next line. Here we go. Oh, and by the way, I did fix the I did fix the radius. I'm glad I didn't get very far with it. There is some Dyson Swarm just kind of hanging out in here, but yeah, I did fix it. So I put this here just in case they build it, but yeah, it was just yeah, I'm sure a lot of people went, you know. Anyway, back to it. And done. Heck yeah. This is about the most compact you can get. You can probably get a little more compact, but if you want to keep the grid straight, with this type of grid that I used, we're already at 5 gigawatts and barely any of it's built. Yep, everything's filled in. Every single possible area that we could, or as close as we could with each one of these, while keeping the grid straight. Obviously, here I could have done a little bit closer, but it would have been like halfway in between these two. And then further up the line, it would have been like over here, and it just would have looked weird to me in my OCD brain. OCD, ADHD, whatever brain. Whatever you want to call it brain. Decided that we were going to keep the grid straight as much as possible. Don't matter if the grid has to get bigger in order to accomplish that. But yeah, and it goes all the way up. It's completely all the way around. And also, I decided to have a little fun and place these nodes in the center. So basically, I made it look like that the the solar sails like hit this orbit, so they orbit around this tiny little one. They hit the orbit and then they spread out. That's what it looks like right now. Anyway, um, but yeah, decided to have a little fun and put this in the middle. Just like I said, just for fun. So it'll be the universe's tiniest Dyson sphere inside the universe's biggest Dyson sphere, or at least I already got one big like this, but this one's the most compact. So yeah, every place I could have put a node pretty much, and connected bridges in between them. I mean, you could have, like I said, you could have gone way more compact. In a lot of these areas, like when the grid does switch. The only problem is the grid, when you're building this, the grid does not switch until way up here. Until you're already, this is like almost half, I would say probably half of the Dyson Sphere surface, or maybe even more. Might be like 2/3 of the Dyson Sphere surface. I'm pretty sure there's some math calculations you could do to figure out how much this grid takes up compared to how much this grid takes up, and then this grid, and then this grid. Grid-ish. It starts to turn into triangles. But yeah, it's this one I had to skip every 3 in order to get it to line up. If I did every 2, there'd be a gap of 3. Yeah, you know, when you got to trying to connect it. But anyway. So that's all of that, and yeah, like I said, I decided to build this. This looks kind of cool, I think. It's just nodes and little bridges in between nodes. So the distance between nodes, this is what I found out, is the distance between nodes does not, it doesn't, like, it doesn't count the distance, like it doesn't have a specific distance. that those can go between, unless you're free placing. Maybe then that's like maybe then the distance between nodes is a hard set. But when you're building in a grid, it's the grid that determines the distance between them. So like out here, you see these are pretty far away, but I can't put a node anywhere in this square of any one of these. I can't put a node anywhere in any of these squares. That's just not going to let it happen. And they're pretty far apart, you know, the distance-wise. But you go to this one here, and you're just like, wait a minute, these nodes are like right next to each other. Almost no distance in between them. It's just like, yeah, it just depends on the grid. Okay, don't mind the crashing noise. It was just a cat knocking over my battery charger. Nah, it's fine. My battery charger has been dropped before. It's survived worse, so it's fine. Yeah, the battery charger, it has two wheels on it, and then it's got a center like peg that it sits on. But that center peg in the front, it's like it has three legs, right? And if you tip it a very specific way, either to the left or to the right, it'll tip over real easy. It won't tip over sideways or front and back, but it'll tip at an angle because of three. Think of a three-legged table. The table wouldn't be pretty well fine unless you tipped it towards two legs, towards the one leg and then the two legs, and the distance not equal distant. It's not equidistant between the legs, so the two legs on the sides are farthest apart, give it the most stabilization, and between those two legs that are farthest apart and the one leg in the front, they're closer together. So because it's rectangle, it's not square, and it's very top heavy. So yeah, not the best design in the world, but yeah. And yes, I do keep my battery charger inside. Yeah, here's kind of a, it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a tools storage in here as well, a little bit. There's a few expensive tools and stuff in here. Battery chargers and jumpers, and, you know, things of that nature, things that are expensive and need to stay inside. Make sure they're in the cover. They don't need to be outside or in a shed or anything like that. Be inside where they can stay warm and not get any condensation and start rusting or anything. Anyway, back to this. We're almost at 5 gigawatts, which is not bad. And yeah, we're starting to build the Dyson Sphere structure itself. We got a few nodes here and there. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough. But we shall see. And these are all low power, I believe. Yeah, we're going to need some blueprints here. I need the ray ring. So this ray ring, as long as we center it, should yeah, that looks centered. It's like it should center itself. It's 120. Let's see, do I even have? Oh, I do have 200. Okay, I'll have to order some more. Oh, look at the FPS, man. It has dropped heavily. It is dropped very heavily. Like I said, it's CPU based, but my CPU could handle much more load. It's just I think there's a hardware limit in this game. Like, this game is coded to only use so much of your CPU before it just says no, we're not using anymore. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing because they don't want this game. Like, this game is very CPU based, so it is very heavily loaded onto the CPU. A lot of load can end up being on there. Like even now, I can check it. Task manager. I do have some performance data. I'll just use task manager as an example. About 68%. So yeah, definitely, there's definitely a limit there, it seems. And like I said, my cores, you can see that, I believe with Resource Manager, you can see all the cores individually. Yeah, and they're all about 68%. And that's like the overall usage is the 68% or whatever. 65, 40. It's like all over the place. It's like 70%, 50%, 60%. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's not maxed out yet. But it could definitely take some more. Definitely take some more load. If only you could figure out how to change that and then change the load. Like as far as I know, the only way to do or to see anything is the performance test. Saving test. Uh-oh, what did I just do? No. Save the game now to analyze archive structure and performance. You can see this is the CPU usage. I don't think changing this does anything. No. Yeah, I'm like 20. So the main logic, this will give you all your percentages, it looks like. So what's taken up the most being taken up is the main logic. It's backed by the whole factory, 53%. So in the whole factory, it looks like splitters are taking up the most amount. The calculation of splitters. Interesting. I've never actually looked at this in detail. This is pretty cool. They give you all this kind of usage data stuff. In the Dyson Sphere, the draw cells, 33%. Dyson Sphere is actually only 3.8% of the main area. But yeah, just the whole factory is like 53%. That's what's taking up most of it. And then the main logic is sitting at about 63. Okay, so that's real. Okay, that's what the real time does. I thought it was just related to this. See, I'm not tech savvy, so I don't really know what I'm looking at here. I'm just going off of percentages. But yeah, it seems like... Yeah, see, the GPU isn't even... Dyson Sphere's taking up most of that. So what's the main logic and the whole factory? This is the whole factory. That's pretty cool. You can actually see all that stuff. Like this is barely even working as well. That's pretty cool though. I like that. As far as GPU wise, I'm using about I just saw a peak of 40 there, 40%. Only using about, I'm using a little over half, I would say, a little over half of my GPU's memory, and just like 13 out of 32 gigabyte memory. Disk isn't hardly being used at all, so yeah, the disk isn't related to this game at all either. The disk isn't hardly being used. I mean, that makes sense. You know, most games don't use the disk while playing. They just use the disk. They use the disk to load games and to save games and stuff like that. That's where most of the data is being accessed. Makes sense. If I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about that. That's fine. So yeah, it's just based off of speculation and my best educated guess. I didn't go to college for computers. Went to college for auto mechanics. Like I know more about cars than I know about PCs. Although I can put a PC together. so there's that. But then again, a 2-year-old could put a PC together nowadays. Quite literally, putting together a PC nowadays is like the easiest thing. One of the easiest things. It's literally. Ooh, I don't know why save changes there. Now we need more of these. But yeah, if you look at the way the computers are structured these days. And I say these days because I have been poking around inside of computers poking around in computers years ago, like many years ago, back when I was in high school and middle school. I want to get these. Oh, that's fine. I don't need to cover that stuff up. 1, 2. Oh. Oh, did it just double place? I think it just did double placed. Yeah, it just double placed. Oh, we'll try. Yeah, we'll just do double. That's fine. Which line is it? I need to figure out how far it is. So it's 1, 2. Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. Okay, from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It's like that. That's like that. That should be more than enough for this. So, we need. Where is it? Need those ray receivers. Looks like 500 will do. Or 2,000, you know, whatever floats your boat. It's just like, I'll just get 500. No, you're getting 2,000. Okay, I'm gonna pull my my 500 and then I'm going to send them back once they get here. Okay then, here we are with 8 FPS once again. We have completely lagged out the game. And look at this though, they're getting bits and pieces of it done. Let's see. 6.37 gigawatts, that's not bad. This is gonna take forever to finish because there's just nodes everywhere. Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to see our. So this is Dyson. This is the layer 1. So planned 44,870 or 800 and no wait. So it's 448,760. Yeah, there we go. Okay. My eyes are ruined from building that. And then is that 15,159,620 planned for the Dyson Swarm. I'm not going to worry about the Dyson Swarm, I just wanted to include it. But yeah, the Dyson Swarm, it doesn't seem to do much. It seems every time they get one of these cell point or one of these one of those structure points built, it jumps up like one of these. It just jumps up. That's probably why somebody's suggested to me to build it as compact as you can. We might have to do multiple layers, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to let this structure build out first, both the little one and the big one, and then we'll add another layer if need be. Probably going to have to, but I'm hoping. I'm being hopeful here. I just hope not. But yeah, this is pretty much that. Oh, these have no power load on them now. Oh yeah. Wait. Consumption is about almost maxed. Is these not connected? No, they're... What happened here? No, they're connected. It said the power usage of these is not... Oh, are these not connected at all? I don't think they are. I don't think they can be. Hold on, let's go to our original point here, where we pulled power down to the center here. Yeah, like we're not even using half of these. Or we're using a little over half. We're not using these other two lines. If you see a gap like this that doesn't make any sense, for some reason I can't place these. They say that the EML or the rail ejector, the EM rail ejector is too close. It's too close to the EM rail ejector, and when I delete this and put one of these in, I can't place it because it says that the area needs to be clear. Don't ask me why, I have no freaking clue. Okay, this is the original point where we pulled electricity, so I'm going to delete one of these. Then. And we're going to bring power. Wow, it's lagging so bad that I had time to left click and then right click to stop placing, and it did that. That's pretty funny actually. There. Now let's see. Okay, 70% load. Yeah. Okay, that's much better. I was wondering why it wasn't working. Yeah, that's the only way we can do that too. Well, we might have been able to get a power pole in there to connect it or put one of those big deals, but that is just fine. Also, yeah, I lowered these all down to 4,000, so when I inevitably have to pick these up at some point, if I ever get to that, I'll be able to. I don't think I'll ever, like I said, inevitably I might end up having to pick these up, but oh, I forgot I was gonna fill these in. It's like, yeah, I was gonna fill in these gaps and I just didn't get to it. Sorry with it being so laggy. There's nothing I can really do. I think the max I was getting when I was playing with the other settings and stuff was like 12, so. Like if I try to mess with this, like put it like 3 to 5, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 1 to 1. 1 to 1 is the max FPS I'll probably get. Oh my gosh, look how slow these are moving. Getting 20 FPS. So that's about a max. We'll go 1 to 3. It's not going to improve much at all. My FPS is so low. And I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why. I know that's CPU now. CPU bound. And that's why, like, it's really strange, right? Yeah, so I don't know what to say about it. Anyway, very CPU bound, it seems. Like I said, look again. Let's see if the CPU goes up. It's about 70, 60, 70%. So it's gone up a little bit, but nothing major. Yeah, I have an i7 4790, so and it's only using about 60 to 70%, which, like I said, it's good. That it limits it. Okay. Well then, that's pretty much what I had planned for. Took me way longer than I thought it would. Like this right here, building all this took me about hour and a half to place each and every individual bit in. Well, at least you can place the bits as you bridge them at the same time. Otherwise, it would have taken even longer. But yeah, when you're doing like click, 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 and then you do that all the way around, and then I feel like filling them in doesn't take very much time at all. That's pretty cool though. I decided to go with this swirl, like the half circle, whatever. You can kind of see it there. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's the half, not even the half circle, like the circles kind of laid on top of each other. They're like overlaid. It's that design. I was hoping that they would have more. Look at the utilization is, or the requested power is only half of what we need, but we're at 7 gigawatts already. That's pretty high, um, as far as that goes. But anyway, that's kind of all I had planned for today, because I got plenty of other stuff to do um, as well. Although this video wouldn't have even gone out if my plans had gone through. I would have been pulling an engine today. But I think we're going to go ahead and leave it here, just because the FPS is so bad right at this current moment. I'm going to fly over to Omicron Persei 1. If I can... Thank you. It's like I'm trying to go up. Oh, that's a cool shot, huh? Look at that. Try and go this way. Yeah, I want to go away from it a little bit. It's like, and scatter. That is a really cool shot, though. I want to get the entire thing of it in there. Okay, I think I got my screenshot. So, we need to head to Omicron Persei 1, which is where we're building our fire ice factory as well. We need to get on that next time, as well as we're going to have to be getting on, speed up a little bit here, we're going to have to be getting on mining fire ice, as well as mining optical grading crystals from this system. That's why we came here in the first place. I mean, that's partially the reason. Look at all these streaks of solar cells just everywhere. And Omicron Persei 1 is like gonna have some of the coolest views. Being inside of a Dyson Sphere next to another Dyson Sphere. It's like the tiniest Dyson Sphere. Like, that is the smallest you can go. Is I think it's 4,000 or whatever, 4,000 meters or whatever. And you're right next to it, man. No wonder this planet is made of molten lava. Oh, that looks so weird. With all the little nodes just scattered about. They really haven't... They built some of the little connecting structures, but... That's crazy. You'll be looking at the sun going, what the hell's going on here? Dude, it's like stars. It's like there's a bunch of little stars in here. What the hell? They're just everywhere. No wonder my FPS is tanked this episode. It's not much better on this planet. Like I said, that's why that makes sense. That's why the graphics settings in this game do not matter whatsoever if you have a decent GPU. The graphics settings, you can turn them up to max, as high as they'll go on this game, and you can turn them down to nothing, and it doesn't make any difference to the FPS whatsoever. is because this is all CPU based game. It makes sense though. Like I understand. I understand now. But yeah, that's unfortunately that is going to be it. Well, that looks freaking cool. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory, because like I said, I do have a bunch of other stuff to get to this weekend that oops, sorry about that. Bunch of other stuff to get to this weekend. Um, Unfortunately, very, very busy. But that is going to be it for this episode. So I do hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I guess it's a goodbye. That'd be a really cool shot right there, too. Just like right about there. It looks like there's a ball of light coming out of it.